Um, Hello, I'm Emma Simons with the White Rock BIA, and I'm back with Dr. Jen of the counseling group for another mental health tip Monday. So take it away, Dr. Jen.
Thanks again, Emma. Very nice to be here again today. Today's mental health tip is mastering the art of mostly being in the present moment as often as you can. That term has also been coined mindfulness, which I'll talk about a little bit later as well. But for now, the art of being in the present moment, I want to explain why this is so important. So if we are spending a lot of time in the past, so looking back, I wish I wouldn't have said that yesterday. Oh, I wonder what they thought of that thing. Or, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Well, you can imagine if we lived there the majority of the amount of time of our days, what's going to happen is we're going to sink into depression. And the reason why is because we're ruminating on something that's already happened and we can't change anymore. Likely not a good idea is focusing mostly on the future. And what happens if we're future oriented most of our awake time in the day, we're worrying, thinking about something that hasn't happened yet. So, oh, I wonder if I've got gas in the car. I wonder if I'm going to be on my appointment on time. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. I wonder if that guy's going to like me. I wonder, right? We're always thinking forwardly. And if we spend a lot of time being future oriented, as you can well imagine, then that would culminate in a higher amount of anxiety in our life. So where we want to spend the most amount of time is in the present moment. Because if we're in the present, what happens is we are having peace. And trust me, in terms of mental health and in terms of everything that's going on around us, we want to be peaceful and calm as much as possible. So if you think about it like driving a car, when you're driving a car, you have to look in the rearview mirror sometimes because you want to see what's going on around you and where you've been. You want to look away in the distance to make sure that you know where you're going. So it's not like you're always just in the present moment, but mostly you want to be looking right in front of you so you don't crash into anything, right? Same thing with our mental health. We want to be in the present moment as often as possible. And there's simple ways to practice that. Meditation is one, although mindfulness and meditation are not necessarily interchangeable. Meditation is a form of mindfulness, but mindfulness doesn't mean meditation. It means being present. So if I'm eating my food, I'm eating my food. I'm tasting it, I'm smelling it, I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at it. Instead of eating my food and looking at the clock and wondering where I should be next, that's not mindfulness. Mindfulness is being present with what you're doing. So you can practice it with food, you can practice it with driving. You and I could practice this. I would look at your eyes or the color of your shirt or something, just to make sure that I'm being as present as possible, because that's where we're going to have the most amount of peace. And another tip about being present, especially these days, is actually to try and be news-free, particularly if you suffer already from depression or anxiety. And I've been recommending this to my clients for years. This isn't a new thing because of the pandemic. News, although it's helpful and we need some of it, if we get too much of it, it can do that depression, anxiety thing, heightened like crazy, because there's so much going on, so much bombarding us, and so much we actually can't do much about it all. So, kind of maybe go news-free, don't check so often. Somebody will tell you if something really bad's going to happen probably anyways. So try and be present in the present moment as often as possible.
Awesome. Yes, I definitely need to learn to do that more. But
we all do, Emma. It's not just a you thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess that is relieving. That is true. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me again today. That was definitely a good tip for everyone, especially right now. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you again very much for having me, Emma. And thank you again for the White Rock BIA and all the amazing work they're doing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Emma.